Hello everyone, in this video I would like to show you how we can configure the router interfaces. So as you can see, I made a topology through Cisco Packet Tracer, and I configured the PC. As you can see, the IP addresses are here, and for example, I open this PC, I go to IP configuration. As you can see, the IP address is completely configured for the PCs. So in this video, I just want to show you how we can configure the router interfaces. In order to configure the router interfaces, first of all, we have to have access to the CLI router either by console line or through Telnet or SSH. So over here in Packet Tracer, I am in CLI tab. So right now I am in privilege exec mode. In order to configure the router, the interfaces of the router, I have to go to global configuration mode first. ConfT, this is the abbreviated version that we can use. And as you can see, we are in global configuration mode. So as I mentioned, I want to configure the interfaces. So I have to go to that specific interface that I want to configure. Let's say I want to configure the gigabit 0/0 interface of R1. So what I will do, I will write interface. I use tab to complete it. Gigabit Ethernet 0/0. So at this point, I can set the IP address or description for this specific interface. So first of all, I define a description. I will say description, and I will say to S1 because this interface is facing S1, so it is easier for me to say to S1. So this is a description, and it's not a configuration. Basically, we put a description for this specific interface. So in case we saw it, we don't know it only by name. We know it by the description. At this time, I can configure the IP address. So I will write IP address, and the IP address for this specific interface, as you can see, the network address is given over here. So it's going to be 192.168.10. So this is the first 3 octet, which is the global address. And then I have to put the specific address. Don't forget that this is a network address. Usually the specific address will be given at the interface itself. So as you can see, it is .1. And it's the time to put the subnet mask. As you can see, the subnet mask is /24. And as we mentioned in the class, so /24 is going to be 255, 255, 255, 0. Basically, the first 3 octet have all ones. And then enter. By default, the interfaces on the router is completely shut down. So it is your responsibility to put a no shutdown command on the interface. So I will put a no shutdown, and as you can see, as I put no shutdown, the red light turned to green. As you can see, this interface on S1 side is still amber. Don't worry about it. You learn about it, that why this is happening. And it might take up to 50 seconds. So we can, in Packet Tracer, we can fast forward, and then it's becoming green. But in the real world, we cannot do that. We have to just wait. So in order to configure the next interface, either I exit from this interface or I just simply write interface gigabit Ethernet 0/1. So as you can see, I am in interface subcommand. And again, I'm going to put a description. The description that I'm going to put, I'm going to say to S2. Now is the time for IP address configuration. IP address. The IP address that we have over here is going to be 192.168.11, which is the global address. And the specific one is going to be 1. And the subnet mask, as you can see, it is still /24, so it's going to be 255, 255, 255, 0. And then we will give a no shutdown command. Now, if you want to configure the next interface, this time I can exit, and as you can see, I will come back to the global configuration mode, and this time I can say interface gigabit Ethernet 0/2, and again put a description saying that to R2 because it is facing to R2, to R2. This is the time I put the IP address. The IP address that I'm going to put is going to follow the global address, which is given over here. So it's going to be 88, 88, 88, 1. And it is a /30. So a /30. So it is obvious that 30 bits of subnet mask, the first 30 bits of my subnet mask is going to be 1. So if you calculate it and change it to decimal, the first 3 octet is going to be 255, and the last octet is going to have only 6 bits of 1. The first 6 bits is going to be 1. So it's going to be 252. Enter, and then again, put a no shutdown command. So at this point, we have configured all of our interfaces. You might wonder why this interface still is not on. Is because the interface on R2 side is still shut down. So in order to make this one on, I need to configure the interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0 on R2 as well. Let's do that. So we go to privilege exec mode, global configuration mode, interface subcommand, interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0. I put the description. The description is going to be 2R1. So it's the time to set the IP address. I will say IP address 88, 88, 88. This is the general address that we have. For that, a specific one is given over here. So it's going to be .2, the last octet. And the subnet mask we calculated before is 255, 255, 255, 252. And don't forget, we have to put a no shutdown command in order to bring the interface up. And it's the time that we can see the interface on R1 came up as well. So in order to check that all our interfaces are up, basically I use Ctrl+Z. I will come back to the privilege exec mode. So from there, I can put a show commands. Show IP interface brief. This is the command that we have in order to see my interfaces. And as you can see, these are the interfaces that I configured. You can see only IP address through this command. However, if you use show protocols, for sure you see the subnet mask as well. So if you use show IP interface brief, only you see the IP addresses. And as you can see, the status, the physical status is up, and the line protocol, means the second layer, is up as well. So we have 3 interfaces and all of them are up. Thank you for watching this video.